So I wanted to do a review. It's one of my favorite line of model kits. It is the V-Gundam, and although this is one of my favorite lines, and it's actually called HQ, which is high quality, you're going to find that this does not look like what you're going to see on the inside of this box, unfortunately. Now, on the side of the older boxes, I probably should have just kept the lid on it. You got pictures of the final product. You got, it's number 15. This was probably around the early 90s, so 1993. I remember I got this, I remember exactly where I got it. It was at the Hungates at North Hills Mall back when it was a mall. It was 500 yen in America, in Japan, but the thing about Hungates is they would get it in triple that price. I think I paid about $15 for this. And there was no internet back then, so I had no way of comparing prices or going online. Hungates was the only place that I knew about that kept a good amount of Gundam kits, or kept up with a good, like, you know, probably got this in 94 or 95. But if you ever saw any Gundam kits anywhere else, which was random comic shops that I would come across, like the one in Burlington, they'd have only the extremely old Gundam kits. Now I wanted to keep up with what was cool and new. It also came with this little booklet. Now I'd like to go through that in a few seconds because it's got a lot of cool stuff. Now it comes with the instructions, but when you put it together, here's what you get. Got a whole lot of parts that are like, you know, shoulder things. I think this one fell off, but I don't know. I think there's like alternate parts that go with the other ones. It's hard to explain. This is basically what you're going to get. It looks absolutely nothing like the box cover. I mean, seriously, that color looks nothing like that. They could have done a much better job, in my opinion, if they made this the same color as the body right here, and then made a separate piece for the eyes. I mean, it's really sad that not all the kits came out as nice as the V-Gundam and the V-Gundam. I mean, you'd have to paint this thing to make it look anywhere near what it looks like on the package. I mean, let's look at the feet. Let's look at the, well, that's about the same. But even the shoulder, it's like, you got that gray part right there. And, you know, all you do is just put a different cap on it. It's an HQ kit. I think at this point, they should have called this a no-Q kit or a low-quality kit. Because this is where they started dipping in. It did have a very interesting feature to it, which all of those V-Gundams had. The spools. Let's see if it has a picture of the spools. Or the... I'm trying to figure out where the picture is. It shows you to fold it over. Basically, you fold over the thing, but maybe this wasn't one of those. I don't know. And to be honest with you, they had this endoskeleton, which just may have been lacking in that aspect. You fold it over and you put together the skeleton. No, you actually had to clip it on right there. All I can say is that this was one of the more disappointing ones. You know, I think I can paint it and make it better, though. So instead of being disappointed and put it away in the building and just forget about it, which is what I was about to do, now I'm thinking I should paint it. Because otherwise, it's a really great kit. I mean, it's very sturdy. It's not too hollow feeling. There's pieces that'll fall off because it's been since 1993. And I haven't really messed with it too much since then. And I'm about to prove myself wrong by breaking pieces off of it. I'm trying to get this back into where it goes. Now let me get a shoulder back on. Which way does it go? This one goes up, I think, like this. Okay, make sure I get the runner on correctly. Okay, maybe it should just go into the building and be forgotten about. After all, what I'm about to show you forget it. You know what? This is why I'm like, forget it. Let's show you what you could get instead. Now, these are called MSN pockets. And I mean, they're not that expensive on eBay last time I looked, which has been about 3 or 4 years. But, I mean, they are so much better quality because they're not really Gundam kits. They're more like high complete kits. There's only a few pieces you got to pop on them and you're done. They're also part die-cast metal. So the Victory Gundam, while it looks very plain to most people, I like it. I think it's very classic looking. I really like the clear shields that were, I think, introduced right before this in F91. At some point, the clear shields were introduced, the energy shields. And this is like a ride-on. It's not really, it's not the figures they're trying to sell you right here. Zollidia, I really like him a lot. This version right here. Zolat, sorry. And they had both colors. This was more like a helicopter. I have the red one of these. The F91 is one of my favorite kits. It's one of the first ones I ever got. This is the little heavy. They're really heavy. They're really nice plastic. Very dense plastic. I also have this one. He's kind of plain. He's just all purple. There's the guy that looks like a bug. But these are not kits. The little few pieces, like this is the V-Gundam. I had it. There's a few pieces you had to put together, and that was about it. Mostly on the flyer. The Victory Gundam Hexta. Oh yeah, I have this one. His legs got a little loose over time. Oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful? He looks like he had angel wings on, but they're made out of energy. Yeah, I still had to find all the pieces of this. It fell apart over time and kind of got moved. When you move from one thing to another, man, I had this actually back when I was living in the apartment. Whew, that was a million years ago. You lose pieces over time. I don't know if they're gone forever or they're just in a different crate. On this side, we have SD Gundams, which are the super deformed of that time period around 1993. They were pretty cool at that time. They've gotten a lot better on them. I really like the Musha ones the best. And trust me, the Musha ones are much better now. And then there's your all your Gundams on the inside. So comment below and let me know, like, what would you do in a situation like this? Would you just abandon it? Or would you actually take your time and go back and fix it? I mean, I guess since it's kind of cold plastic and it hasn't been touched and it hasn't been moved around, it's probably falling apart because I'm doing it right now fresh. I didn't warm it up any, like, you know, moved it, touched it in a long time. So I don't know. I want to give it a second chance, maybe even paint it some completely different colors. But at the same time, I may just put on top of my, where I paint and build Gundams, and then I'll decide. I'm starting to get paint markers. I got the liner, the black liner. I got a chrome pen, which I'm thinking about that right now. I'm thinking, what kind of chrome on here? I also got some white and some red because I want to do some Hot Wheel cars. So, I don't know. I'm thinking about painting it. I'm thinking about doing something with it, but yeah, I think it's better to salvage it. So what do you think? Did you have this kit? Is there any hope for it? Comment below.